What are the signals from the Indian economy? What measures have the government taken to boost demand and growth? The year 2025 has been rocky for the Indian economy. While the government has implemented several policy changes that are positive for economy, several others factor one international and some domestic continue to play a spoil spot. What has gone well in this year? In the year of 2024, 2025 for India, what's gone well? Let's see. The year began on a reasonable positive footing in February. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and US Donald Trump jointly announced the two countries would work towards a bilateral trade agreement by the fall of this year. That same month, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman also presented Budget 2025 in which she implemented several changes to the income tax rate and the slab that would essentially reduce the tax burden on the bulk of taxpayers. While the budget announcement has aimed at increasingly disposable incomes by reducing the tax on incomes, September saw the GST Council approach the problems from the another direction. The Council did away with the 12% and 28% slabs GST slabs and moved most item in immediately below them. That is, most item in the 12% slabs moved to 5%, and the most item is 28% moved to 18%. Apart from this, the center in November also announced with implementation the four labor code, which increases social security for workers and provide them with various benefits. Trade talks between the US and India have resumed, but nothing concentrate has been announced. Next topics. In this context of the Indian economy, what trade deals have been struck or implemented this year? The Indian UK Comprehensive Economic and Trade Agreement CETA has been signed in July 2025 under which India is to receive duty free access to most of the UK market and enhanced provisions from the mobility of the Indian labor in that country. The trade and the economic partnership agreement with India and European Free Trade Agreement associations, Switzerland, Norway, Islands, Liechtenstein, signed in March 2024, officially came into effect on October 1st, 2025. Apart from the trade consensus, the EFTA economic framework trade agreement countries agreed to invest $100 billion in the India in 15 years. In an interview, the Hindu Islands ambassador to India, Benedict Hoskundson, asserted that the $100 billion targets would to achieve well before the 15 years of completed. In December, India and Oman signed a comprehensive economic partnership agreement, and India and New Zealand will announce they had conducted a negotiation on a free trade agreement under which India would receive duty-free access to the 100% of the items in export to New Zealand. Further, New Zealand has committed to invest $20 billion in India over 15 years. Commerce Ministry Piyush Goyal has recently been asserting that India's negotiations with their European Union over a trade deal are in their final stage. What did not work in 2025? The biggest factor that has worked against India has been the United States after the initial bonhomio of the February announcement. Mr. Trump announced Liberation Day reciprocal tariff on India on a number of countries including India in April. Indian tariff was 26% at the time. A week or so later, Mr. Trump announced 90 days pause on the tariffs so he could negotiate bilateral trade deal. But neither side could agree on several key aspects. as the 90 days deadlines approach in the earlier July. Mr. Trump extended the deadline to the end of that month. However, with no deal further coming in India. On July 31st, Mr. Trump announced a 25% tariff on India. A week later, he announced an additional 25% tariff on India as penalty for imposing Russian oils. The total tariff amounted on the unstable 50%, then and then and that when trade talks really broke down. Talks have resumed, but nothing concentrate has been announced. Several labor-intensive sectors in India, for which the US is a big market, have been hurting. The government has announced on export promotion missions to provide cheaper credit to exports and help them overcome non-tariff barrier over, but details at the schemes have not been yet made public. What lies ahead? What is the way forward? Let's see. The new year is going to be a mixed bag for the economy. The Reserve Bank of India has pegged growth for 2025-2026 at 7.3%. This means growth is the second half will slow down significantly since the first half 8%. The tariff trouble also like they could continue for a few more months. On the other hand, the positive thing uh, to look out for a much needed upgrade to India's microeconomics data indicator. The GDP index of industrial production of consumer price index, the GDP index of industrial production and consumer price index CPI, all three vital to gauge the health of the economy, will see this base year updated with improved methodology. Thank you for watching this podcast and this video for Indian economy future.